Okay, I'm gonna have to add a couple of things, so give me a second. It's been a while since we've been on here. Um, Anyways, so while we're waiting for me, we're gonna listen to a little bit of music, if you don't mind. I gotta set this up real fast. Mm. Give me a second, everybody. I'm just trying. I gotta just getting in a little bit, so we got a lot to talk about. But I do want to also talk about that too. Let's see. Okay, that was right. Mm. Give me 1 second, please. Okay. 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 I just need to know where that was, so. Second again. Okay. Okay. Okay, today is. Let me get to where I'm supposed to be. Had a few things and we're going to go over. There's some things that we didn't go over before, so I'm going to do the announcements first. I am kind of back, but there's a few more things I got to be doing, and this next 2 weeks we have a lot of things coming up, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So my phone's out, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the announcements, and we do the announcements every time we have this stream. I'm not sure if who's all here, but and then we'll get into what we're talking about tonight. I have 2 Facebook channels. Uh, it's the Oklahoma Predator Watch, in parentheses, antlers, and surrounding areas. The other one is the Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Son Center and Database. Those are 2 group pages on Facebook that I use. And I also, if as soon as I get through with here, I put this stream onto those channels also. So if there's 3 ways that you can get to that. Also, the Chute Ranch, a Bigfoot Experience Museum had their kind of dry run, and now they're preparing for like a more grand opening. and that is scheduled in around 2 weeks. So we're looking at the Fall Festival in Tallahassee, Oklahoma. That would be a great time for that to open up, um, because there should be a lot of people in town. Plus, the fall festivals and the Talamina Drive that everyone does go to, and I do recommend that you do take that drive. The Talamina Drive is very beautiful. A lot of change of colors and everything like that. Stay on the highways and everything. Make your arrangements. Make sure your car is running well before you do things like that. But because it is in the mountains, and those are places where missing people have been reported and not found. So always be aware of your surroundings. Let me get some water. Also, Native Chalk Talk, which is a podcast, and of the, I guess you would say, I mean, it is of the Choctaw people, but I don't think the tribe is associated with it as far as sponsorship. So um, it's a woman named Rachel. She has a podcast, and I was interviewed for the Bigfoot part that they're going to air October 31st, which is Halloween night. So also check out the podcast Native Chalk Talk. Uh, I believe it's going to air at 6 p.m. I believe that's the last thing I heard. So also, um, we had like a small kind of meeting the other day, and yeah, we're doing some other things too. We're helping out in a lot of other places with some friends who asked us for some support. So we've been up in the mountains. We've been taking roadways that most people don't know about. We've been checking out structures and Bigfoots, and we've also, one of the pictures on here is one of the Bigfoots, but we also went back to that same spot, uh, took another picture, but this time there was another one which was bigger. Well, there was a couple, but they were a little further down. But you know, like we've talked about that, these things, if they look like a lion dog or a lion dog with a beak, um, they're dark in color. They hide under brush. Always look under the brush. As a tracker, you start at baseline, and the baseline's the very bottom, the dirt. That's where you start. That's where a tracker starts, and work your way up to the treetop line. But look for feet. Look for discoloration of the soils, especially movement and that's actually how we caught. Which, okay, we'll talk about that before we get to the test. But we was there was a group of us. We went out actually two times. We had more the second time, but the first time we went out, a friend wanted to show us a place that he had came upon, um, which he said that he got followed out or paralleled, and he knew what it was, but he knows what we do, and he's actually a part of the team. But he knows his area, so he asked us to come in and look at these places with him. And so we went through there. We was looking at the structures and everything, and this is one of the places that it's right there in front of you, and these structures are right on the roadway. So it's a logging kind of roadway. So if you're on that roadway, you're right up on a blind. So uh, to us, they hunt that roadway. So, and there are places like that we go to that people don't normally go. Like just maybe about a month and a half ago, we went to the Skyline, and but we didn't skyline. If anybody knows what skyline means, when you're tracking, skyline means to like if you're coming up on a ridge to look over it, that you're standing or even kneeling and looking over to not be seen when you're coming up on a mountain edge. For you not to be seen at any angle, you have to low crawl in. I mean, low crawl and then look down and then low crawl back. Knees up or that high crawl or low medium crawl, you'll be seen. So always remember that when you're looking over edges, and it's called skylining. Don't ever skyline. But the place that we went up to had traps up there. Um, one of the this was another time though, but this other time, that's when we got the two flat tires when we went to a place that we found it to be a slaughterhouse type scenario as far as the we found the hook that they the Bigfoots put like a big strong piece of wood. But this wood, I mean, it looks manicured. Like, well, of course they have time to sharpen and carve things, but this was like well formed to hold um, weight. And then we found lodges, we found blinds. Um, when we were coming out, because me and another friend walked in, but we didn't go in on the human trail. We walked in, we found a Bigfoot trail, and we followed that in. And that's actually one of the test questions, but I'll go ahead and give that to you tonight. What are the three types of trails that you're going to find in the forest? And that's the animal trail, you're going to find the human trail, and you're going to find a Bigfoot trail if you know what that Bigfoot trail looks like. And we've been showing uh, what it looks like, how wide it is, where it's at on the stream, maybe about two or three streams back. But that's a well matted down pine needle, um, or even if it is leaves, it'll be smashed down so much that you won't hear it. It's just like a real thin paper. But a Bigfoot's path will be matted down and well walked on, well traveled. They do that just to get all those crinkles, those pops, anything out. So whenever you're walking on a Bigfoot trail, you can't be heard. Malcolm, I don't know if he's here tonight, but if he can talk to you about that also. He was on the trail with me one time, and we walked under that Bigfoot trail and followed it through there, and it went all the way through, all the way to the back, and then we actually flushed some out because we found fresh tracks um, when we reached the what's it called, the telephone pole, the highline wire area. But we was up in this place that we it was a slaughterhouse type scenario. And if people who don't know what the slaughterhouse is, that's whenever a person had walked upon um, this same type scenario that we had, um, but we were well armed also at that time. Every one of us had our knives. There's four of us. We all had our knives and everything, and night vision. We had that and other weapons. And like I said, I'm always with a weapon if I'm out, in these areas. But I've also said that, and people have complained about it. But I said that you don't have to have a weapon. Um, but I'm saying that when I go out there, I have a weapon because I know what these creatures are like. And I've seen them. I know how big they are and how powerful, and they are predators. So uh, actually, I really recommend, or if you want to go out with it sometime, get you a weapon because if anything does happen, things have happened before, that everybody has their own battle, and we've talked about that. So be well prepared when you go out there. But um, this slaughterhouse, the people, a man found this place where there were bodies. I mean, not bodies, but bones. There was clothes. There was torn shoes, and they found a wallet and an ID, and they had reported on that. And I don't think you may be able to find something like that on YouTube. I hadn't been able to. It's just a story that was passed down to me by some Bigfoot people, well known, well respected. But they told me that when they reported it to a friend, and this person was a friend of a high school, hometown high school. I think my thing's crooked. But so he told his friend, who was like a police officer or sheriff in that town, about what he found, and gave him the wallet and everything. And that the police went up there, and he said it's 100 yards, straight through there. So the police went back, and then made some phone calls, and then next thing you know, they said that there was black helicopters, black military. They pretty well cleaned up that whole area, burned it all out, and that the next time, well, that was the information later. But the next time that he seen his friend, he asked what all came of that, or that area, and his friend said he didn't know what he was talking about. So um, this area that we was up in um, was a slaughterhouse type scenario. It was a trap. It was a perfect trap, but we recognized it as being a trap, and so we took our precautions. One Damon, he was backing out. Um, I had my weapon out the window too. Everybody was keeping watch. Everybody had their directions to watch. So, and that's one thing we did also with this outing. Yeah, just like an outing, because we were just checking out um, reported areas of activity, and we've been doing that for about a week. Um, and that's why we really haven't been on. Sometimes I'll be too tired when I get in. So, but then we're up early because we've got a lot of locations. We've been getting a lot of reports, and there's still more. And there's Malcolm. If you can make it down, uh, Tuesday's not going to be too good for me tomorrow. I still got a few things I got to do. Got scratches. We've been in the field and everything, so you always get some. Like I always say, well, at least I came back with a scratch or something. I can say at least they scratched me. But Tuesday's not really good, but Wednesday would be even probably better. Wednesday at any time, because I'm sure those tracks are there, same spot, and we know exactly where to go. But I also want to check out where that old abandoned vehicle was for hair samples, because I'm sure there should be some in there, because it's a great hiding place, and it's big enough, for them to sit in, and you wouldn't see them at all. So that's the other place we want to check out. But these places that we go to, and we've been going to these places all week, um, and there's still more places that we still have to go back really to another place tomorrow to pick out a trap, pick up a trap. We still got that snatch and grab we still have to do. Um, I don't know. We just got a lot of things that we got to do. So, a lot of people asked me to that they hadn't heard from me for a while, which we've been in the field, and I already told people if I'm not back at 9:30, and I have a 10-minute window, so that if I don't make it in 10 minutes, that they cancel that stream, and then I have to wait till the next day to make a stream. So, or at least they canceled that one. But people, I think I'm going to just do the test tomorrow, because people just, and I still got so many photos to look over. Like I said, we found like two um, different. They may be the same group, but two different times in two different areas, but the same area, just in different locations of that same area that we checked back. And you'll always hear people say that, to go back there and check the height, of that photo, go get a second look or something like that. That's not what we were doing, because we knew that the first one that we seen was a Bigfoot hiding. Well, there's a couple. They bunched up. But we was going back through because a friend came into town. We had the opportunity to go out for a little bit. So we wanted to show our friend these structures. Um, he is kind of well known around this area too. And so we all went out there, looked at these structures, and there's just I don't see how people haven't been able to um get more believers. I guess you would say whenever there's so much evidence out there. We've got pictures, and we just took some extra pictures. I'm waiting on a friend to send me those pictures. It wasn't my camera, um, so I got to wait till those pictures are sent to me. Which I hopefully, if you can hear me, Malcolm, if you're on here tonight, or I will send this to you. That if you can get those pictures to me, so I can blow them up here, and I'll be going over to night vision tonight. Um, and this whole thing that we're doing, we're doing all this tracking, helping people locate things in their areas. We've traveled to Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, places like that, just to help people track and locate Bigfoots in their areas, and the dangers in that, and things like they have to watch out for. We shared information. We still got that snatch and grab. That should have a lot of information on it if we can get up that way. But I can only take an experienced crew or a team up there. Um, and I mean, it could be the same crew. Those guys know what they're doing, and I love working with them because they know that. Just like the other night when we was making that second round through this occupied territory and found other Bigfoots, that like I was a passenger in the front side, so I had front and right. The person in the back had the middle right and the back, and just like that. So every area was covered. These are only the only two areas I was looking at the whole night. On the way back, same way, um, and we took the road in same and took the same road straight back out. So um, we didn't miss anything, and that's why we did find the Bigfoots. But a lot of people had been asking me, at least come on, say something, let us know you're okay, because we do go in some of these places that normal people wouldn't go, I guess you would say, just to find uh, these information, for people who need the information as far as what's knocking on their windows, which we just got that just the other night. There was a friend. I'm gonna just tell a real quick one, but there was a friend. He knew we was in town. Sorry, so sorry. He knew we was in town, and he is a part of the team also. But so we'd visit with him that day, and we're just. He has, I think, two friends with him at that time, and I'm with some other friends because we're just getting done. We're all kind of separating. Everybody's getting ready to head home, and so we get this text that they just heard four knocks on their back window, and and all three people heard it. So they text us, and it was a good thing that we was in town too, and we had two vehicles. Yeah, we had two vehicles. So everybody jumped in their vehicles, had their grab bags. We took off, had their gear. Well, most of the gear. I forgot the thermal, but anyway, we pull up to his house probably 5 minutes after we get that text, and we jump out, we load our weapons, we get our night vision out, we get our flashlights out. Um, because we're just there to deter and see what's going on. And as soon as we get there, we go straight to night vision. Everybody's got their weapons. We're covering ground. We're moving towards the house, and then that's when the people inside the house came out. and they all told us that they all heard the noise or the four taps on the window, and they know Bigfoot is in their area and multiple Bigfoots, not just one. So we did a scout. We did a quick perimeter around the house, both sides, top of the house, um, the nearby forest, and we've caught this black spot or a couple. So um, we didn't know if they were close or watching. So I popped one off, and which was a 3-inch shell. So I popped one off, and I wish you could have heard the way that sounded, caught that echo, that canyon. That shot just kept going, echoing. And then we heard something yelping off to the right, and sounded like sounded like coyotes again, but we knew it wasn't. It sounded like a group of them, and it's like they were running up the side. One yelped, and these would come up. They would make noise. It's like they were just coming up on our side right here. So they were coming up on our side, so we turned this way because those are decoys. Those are the ones making noise. Those are the ones that want us to look that way. So we turned this way and put our lights on this side. We were waiting and expecting what was coming up in the back side of us. So uh, we held that ground for a while. Nothing happened. They left or they calmed down. Uh, we talked with our friends. We told them, we'll still be in the area. Let us know or give us a call. We're only like 5 minutes away. We'll stay close is what we um, worked on. And that's what we did too. Even though it was cold for us, it was kind of chilly because I didn't prepare for spending, that whole night, uh, just on alert, just being ready for a phone call. And so things are happening. Another guy that we met, and I wish I could have him interviewed and bring him here, or maybe start doing some interviews here with some friends who have the experiences and they can tell you because whenever they're talking, and I know these things are out there. So when people are talking, you can really tell how it affected, how it does affect them, or how it did affect them. Uh, because their body will speak, their eyes will speak, their blood, their pulse rate, their face will get flushed. They'll get goose pimples just talking about these stories. That's how you really know. I also want to interview another friend who's never seen a Bigfoot, who's never seen or really thought anything out of the ordinary, but he's a friend of ours. And the person he lives with is another friend of ours who knows Bigfoots are out there, which he's surrounded by people. Actually, he's not from this area. Well, he is, but he was like born in like Tulsa or Oklahoma City or someplace like that. But he's down in this area now, staying with a friend. But our friend keeps explaining there are Bigfoots out there. Don't be going at walking down the road at nighttime or things like that. But I want to interview him because he said that even though he's never seen one, that he trusts what we say and that he believes that they are out there. That he would be careful, but um, Yehuda Jackson is here. Hey, awesome people is what he is saying. Um, but there's another friend who we met. Kind of a new friend in the process. But he is a guy who's had many experiences, many encounters. Not We spent almost 2 days with him just talking about stories and things like that on his property line. And he has quite a bit of property, and there's a lot of activity there happening right now. So we know these spots, and that's like I said, that's where we've been. We've been tracking, helping other friends. We're doing even a little bit of landscaping and things like that, helping out. Just because people asked us to help out, we told them, it's no, we don't want to pay. Just whatever you need, we'll help you. And we've been doing that. It's been fun. It's actually been fun getting to spend time uh, out in the forest area, collecting things, and also getting to do lots some light tracking. Also, we get to teach with this spare time and seeing some friends. We get to go do our weapons training, spirit training, just whenever we got a little time from what we're doing or from working or something like that. So, but this is about today. It is just about letting you know that everyone is okay. Everybody made it back safe. Uh, this is a good team. Everybody knows what to look for. Everybody knows their positions. They know what their paths of observation are. They know what to listen for, what to look for, baseline, top of the tree line. So we've got some very good team members, and we are looking for more. We need people in more areas. We do have a tracking school coming up in the wintertime from December 1st to January 1st. We also have one in spring, and that's a big one. Spring, which is March 1st to April 1st. Now, if you can't make the winter camp, make the spring one. That's the one I really recommend, and I would actually recommend you skip the winter camp and make the spring camp. That one is going to hold a live tracking. Um, but if the people aren't ready for the tracking when this tracking time arrives, that you will still participate as far as base camp or observations or thermal reading or night vision reading. We will be teaching all that in the tracker school camp and all of that in this, well, in every camp. But if you can, if you've thought about coming to the tracker school camp to learn what we teach, and we also go over all this knowledge that we've been sharing all here, except we start at the beginning again, which on this live stream after 10 days, it starts the leading stream. So all the information that we do put on gets deleted. So unless you're able to watch it every night, it would be great. But tonight, like I said, it's just about letting everybody know that we're okay. We still got a lot of more things to do. We got big things coming up. We got 2 weeks for another planning thing. Uh, we've been asked, we requested that we ask in a friend's place. So we still got to work that out with them, only because we want to help track and locate, what's in their area. But I do want to thank everybody for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and end tonight. But if we're back in time again tomorrow, it'll be 9:30 p.m. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to switch this in 2 days. I would say to 7 p.m. Uh, Central Time Zone. So in 2 days, we're going to change the time zone. But I'm not sure if I'll be back to make tomorrow night, but I will try. And the other night, maybe. But after that, I'll have 2 or 3 days where I should be here. And then on the weekend, I may be tracking again at a friend's location because they've been hearing noises. Their neighbors have been hearing noises. And it's not noises they're accustomed to. And I've been told that they've went inside when they heard these, calls. So that's another area that we should be tracking in pretty soon if they want us to. But I'm gonna go ahead and close tonight. Just giving you an update. We'll do a test tomorrow if we make it in, and I will see y'all again tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Central Time Zone. If I make it back in that time, because if we do get busy, I might not. Just letting you know. All right, thank you. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night.